Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about Marvel Rivals and how even though it's doing really well, NetEase just laid off a bunch of people, basically an entire studio. We're going to be on PC Gamer today. This is by Andy Chalk. Thank you for the article. It'll be linked down in the description below if you want to read along or just read it for yourself. The title is NetEase confirms Marvel Rivals layoffs, says cuts were made to optimize development efficiency for the game. Marvel Rivals is a big hit, but apparently that doesn't matter. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that Marvel Rivals is a huge success. Not just a huge success, it is the success right now, and they're laying off people, which is really weird. And like, I kind of understand in certain ways of like, you know, you have a bigger team when you're trying to launch a game, but it seems like these were a surprise to everyone, which is the big deal. Like, if this was like a thing of like, oh, you're working on this game until we launch it and then maybe a little bit after, but it does seem like these employees were surprised, which is the big deal for me. Just before we get into the article, I'd like to remind everyone, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you enjoy this video. Comment down below what you guys think about this. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a Q&A video, so please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. There has been an update to this, but we will just read the article and then go up to the update. Marvel Rivals is a big hit, the first real challenger to a long-time hero shooter big dog Overwatch, yet amidst the success, with more than 200,000 people playing on Steam alone right now, NetEase game director Theodos Saucer says the Marvel Rivals development team in the US has been laid off. This is such a weird industry, Sasser wrote on LinkedIn. My stellar, talented team just helped deliver an incredible, successful new franchise in Marvel Rivals for neteasegames, and we were just laid off. Yeah, to be fair, not to be fair. For a perspective, NetEase is a Chinese company, so from what I know, they laid off basically all of the US employees. So it's only the Chinese development team now, which I'm not even entirely sure why they even had the US team be helping them, but we'll see. But we'll see, I guess. Sasser's LinkedIn profile lists him as the game director at NetEase working on Marvel Rivals. The game's creative director is Jen Yung Chen, better known as the players as Guang, I think. Is that how you pronounce it? Level designer Jack Burrows confirms the layoffs in a separate post. Well, just got laid off from my job working on Marvel Rivals with NetEase. Burrows wrote, "It was an enormous pleasure to work with my American coworkers who joined me in this sad culling. Just couldn't dodge the big boot, I guess, no matter how big the success of the gig." And it's about to say this down here, but Marvel Rivals has made so much money, it's crazy that they're letting these people go. And as the big business is, it's because they're not the Chinese development team. I'm assuming that's the main reason, because their NetEase is a primary Chinese company. It's strange that they don't have an English side, because you would think you would, in order to help them understand what players from different regions want, you'd have at least small teams from different regions, especially if you're a big game like Marvel Rivals and a global game like Marvel Rivals, because there are players from basically every country imaginable, and you'd probably want at least some direction from local people from those countries to understand what they want, to help understand what they want. Obviously, people have different perspectives in every single way, but it would help to have like the American team, the European team, that type of thing. I'm not saying you need hundreds of people on these places, but I think it'd be easier maybe, but I guess I'm wrong. Or at least they don't agree. And that's really the heart of the matter. Why would NetEase do this? Marvel Rivals is a major hit and has reportedly by Chinese site GameLock. It seems to make a lot of money, an estimated $136 million in its first month alone. At the same time, the game is finding its footing. As we recently saw with Multiverse, a strong start can fade quickly if the team behind it doesn't stay on top of things. Yeah, it's true, Multiverse crashed hard. The core Marvel Rivals development team is presumably based in China, but even so, cutting off an entire studio at the very early game is a hit stage is baffling. It's true, it's a very odd time to lay them off. This is Marvel Rivals announcing 20 million players have joined with the celebration spray. Some have speculated that this may have been all the plan all along. Get Marvel Rivals spun up, then cut the team, operating it down to the bone. NetEase has been dialing back its US plans in recent months. In November 2024, it ended funding for recently founded studios Worlds Untold, launched in 2023 by BioWare veteran Mac Walters, and in January it pulled the plug on Jar of Sparks, founded by Halo Destiny 2 veteran Jerry Hook in 2022. And in 2024, NetEase also reportedly laid off most of the players at Okoa Studios developers of Visions of Mana before the game even came out. Oh, that's true. Visions of Mana was such a sad story because the game came out and it was really good, but the studio basically doesn't exist because everyone got fired. NetEase isn't shy about cutting back where and when it deems necessary, in other words, but even in this light, this is a weird one. Marvel Rivals is a hit, but it's also still a fragile, formative state, which doesn't seem to me like the time to be laying off developers. I think that's the biggest strange thing, is that not only is Marvel Rivals a success, it's also still very early on, and I guess in their eyes, they don't need the US team anymore. They're just going to go all in-house in the Chinese development team. To be fair, we don't know exactly what the US team was doing, but they couldn't have been doing nothing. So I think that's the strangest thing for me. I feel like this is just also NetEase realizing that having so many studios like this isn't going to work. Like, honestly, I would understand it more if they did all of these to the Worlds Untold, Jar of Sparks, and Oka Studios, and kept the Marvel Rivals team, because these games are not, from what I know, live service moneymakers. Like, Visions of Mana is a JRPG, and I don't think these guys, the Jar of Sparks and World of Zone, ever made their game never came out. So it's weird to me that they're pulling the team that's helped make the successful live service game that they're currently running. That's going to, hopefully for them, continue going on, and for players as well, because the game's really fun and I enjoy it. But let's scroll up and get to this update. NetEase has confirmed the layoffs of Marvel Rivals developers in a statement provided to pcgamer. We recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rivals development team structure for organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game. That makes sense, but I don't know if I trust them in that statement. An NetEase representative said that this resulted in a reduction of their design team based in Seattle that is part of a larger global design function in support of Marvel Rivals. Okay, this resulted in the reduction of a design team based in Seattle that is part of a larger global design function. So they still have other global people, it's just not this, they just scrapped the Seattle team. So they still have a global presence. Okay, we appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected and will be treating them confidentially and respectfully with recognition for their individual contributions. Okay, confidently. I don't know why I thought that was confidentially. No, confidently. Okay, the company added that the core development team in China remains fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience, that it is investing more, not less, into the evolution of the growth of this game. It's like I said down below and later in the article, I feel like they're going away from the global part and just going more into the Chinese side development team. And to be fair, like, I didn't even know they had a US team, because all their videos and stuff like that they released are all the Chinese guys. They're all the people that English is their second language. And to be fair, they speak English very well, honestly. But I've never seen the English side of the team, which is interesting because you would think that when they're doing videos in English, they would get the people that speak English as their first language, but no, it's the main team, the main team in China. So yeah, it's interesting. We're excited to deliver new superhero characters, maps, features, and content to ensure an engaging live service. Yeah, I mean, this is just corporate fluff. NetEase didn't say how many employees were put out of work, but confirmed that there's no Seattle-based developers working on Marvel Rivals. So the entire team in Seattle got scrapped, which sucks. I don't know if I think they're telling the truth with investing more into the game. I don't know if I agree with where it's going, though. It looks like it's just going into the Chinese team, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, but when you have a global game, you kind of need everyone's opinion. But it does seem like they were a design team. I wonder what their design team of, if they were just help designing characters, maps. There's so much things you can design in Marvel Rivals, or if they were just a broad team. So it's going to be interesting to see how this happens. And it's strange to me that they also laid off like the game director, the game creative director. Wait, no, sorry. It is NetEase game director. That's so weird. Wait, so was he also let go, or is it just his team? I think everyone was. I think he was also laid off, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like basically, yeah. Interesting. So even the game director, that's so weird. So I guess from what I can tell, at least, they fired everyone in the US Seattle team, and they're hiring more people or investing more money, which I personally consider hiring more people into the Chinese side and the core development team in China, which I mean could be a good thing, I think. But I mean, more people helping out is good, but it feels weird that they're firing people amongst the success of the game. If this was always the plan, then I feel like the employees should have known, and it shouldn't have been a surprise. Like, if you're like, okay, we're gonna hire you guys for a 3-year contract, and once the thing's over, it's over, you know. But it doesn't seem like they were informed like that. They didn't think it was going to be like that. So I think that's the weirdest thing to me. Like, if this was always the plan, then that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's the bad thing is that the employees didn't know, which is the weird thing. Because like downsizing a team after a game is launched happens all the time in video games, not necessarily for multiplayer games, should I say, but it's not a strange thing to have the team being downsized slightly, because you don't need as many people to maintain and update a game than to create a game, even in the multiplayer side, I think. But it's weird that they didn't know, which is terrible. So we'll see if what happens in the future for Marvel Rivals. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment down below what you guys think about this, and if you think it was a good decision or bad decision. Personally, I think it is a bad decision, but I'm not a multi-million-dollar CEO of a company, so obviously what do I know? Thank you everyone for watching. If you'd like to follow me on other platforms, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads, all with the same name, @TheTechnoJelly. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.